All right, so hey guys, man, today guys, we're back for round two of the CONCACAF World Cup qualifiers. It's been a while since I did the headphones, and I do apologize in advance. Yesterday, I did not do a video. I was really busy with my assignments, and so here I am today. I'll be producing you guys another video for you guys. So we have some CONCACAF World Cup qualifiers to discuss, and before we get into the predictions for the second round, I want to briefly recap of each group. We're gonna go and look which nation topped the group, and we'll look back at my predictions I said, and we'll see how many got correct. Okay. So for Group A, I predicted El Salvador would top the group, and they just did on 10 points. So congratulations, El Salvador. Huge result indeed. So that was probably expected. Then Canada topped the group against Suriname. Suriname, that was to be expected. Suriname did give a good fight. Obviously, I did see that yesterday. However, Suriname were really disappointing yesterday. They were really disappointing. Jonathan David scoring that hat trick. Alfonso Davis as well. Not a hat trick, but he did score goals. So obviously, congratulations to him. Group C, I believe I predicted Curacao top of the group, and this was very close. This was very close, and this just came down to the wire, guys. This came down to the wire, and wow, I feel really bad for Guatemala. Guatemala, man, nearly did it, man, and it seems like Curacao actually managed to scrape through because of the fact they scored more goals. So that's crazy. You know, we had a potential upset here, so I'm surprised how close the margin was. I really didn't think the margin would be that close. So congratulations to Curacao for making it through. And then Panama and Dominican Republic. Panama I predicted to go through. So Panama did top the group. And then Group E, I did predict Haiti to top the group and Ecuador to come in second. And then finally for Group F, I messed this up badly, guys. I predicted Trinidad and Tobago to top the group. And guess what, guys? It actually ended up being Kits and Nevis. And you know what's really sad? You know what's really sad? Trinidad still managed to defeat St. Kitts and Nevis. It couldn't even beat Bahamas or Puerto Rico. If they had just won one of those games, they would have topped the group. They would have topped in the group. So they had too many draws, man. Those draws, man. Draw is a terrible result. And had they had just won one of those draws, if they converted one of those draws to wins, they would have topped this group, guys. Would have topped this group. And I would have looked like a genius here. You know, so it sucks to be Trinidad and Tobago. And yeah, man. So they failed to reach round two. So I was going to talk about how round two works and basically how that works. So basically, each nation basically plays each other home and away, and then basically they qualify for the octagonal. So whichever nations qualify from that, they're going to basically go on to octagonal. So you can see right here, guys, this is octagonal as things stand around. Let me show you guys the final round. So Costa Rica, that's already qualified. Honduras, Jamaica, Mexico, USA, they all got here by default through the FIFA rankings. And those three nations will join these five nations to play out against each other, and obviously the top three will directly qualify for the World Cup, and then fourth place goes to the playoffs. So, you know, I think it's really interesting, and I'm going to be curious to see how this one will fare, and I think we're going to have some really interesting nations in here. So let's start with our predictions now. Let's start with the very first fixture. We have St. Kitts and Nevis versus El Salvador. Now, in my opinion, I think it's a really interesting fixture. In my opinion, I really think this one is going to be very interesting. I think this one, I could see St. Kitts and Nevis maybe doing it. You know, we saw what they did. They were able to do very well in the group stage. Unfortunately, though, I don't think St. Kitts and Nevis will do it. I simply say that because I look at the players they have. It's not really too impressive. And in my opinion, I believe, even though you have to give them credit for this achievement, I believe this will be too difficult for them because I think El Salvador, for me, is a bit too much for them. You know, look at the players like you got Luis Mohamed, Andre Burley, you know, Armour Sterling, you know, and I just think that for me, El Salvador, for me, I feel like they'll just scrape it through. I think they'll scrape it through. And for me, I think St. Kitts and Nevis were largely benefited from the fact that Trinidad and Tobago didn't show up against those nations. We saw that even against them, obviously it didn't mean much because obviously that final game was insignificant. But even still, they lost to Trinidad, which means that it's very It's very sad indeed. So you look at the players like Eric Zavalita, Tony Gomez, Jerson Maris, Joshua Perez. You know, there's so many players to this El Salvador national team, and it looks more stacked. Whereas St. Kitts and Nevis, you can see it's not really that many players compared to theirs. Like, it's not really, most of these are very, most of the players aren't that good compared to them. So I will say El Salvador probably makes it through quite comfortably speaking. And the advantage for El Salvador is that the first leg is away from them. It's going to be at the Warner Park Football Stadium, which is that going to be in, that's going to be in St. Kitts and Nevis. So it's going to be in their stadium. So they have a very huge advantage in that the first leg's away, and that as long as they win their second leg at home and get a good result at home away, they'll basically make it through. So I think El Salvador, you would fancy them to go through to the next round. So I think El Salvador will make it through. If I had to give an aggregate score, I'm going to say aggregate score. I'll say aggregate If I had to say, probably 4-1, I'll say. I think 4-1, I'm going to say. I'm going to say 4-1. That's my aggregate score, guys. So I think El Salvador, they'll make it through comfortably. But as I said before, guys, I think Kits and Nevis can do it easily. We saw what they did. But I still believe this can be, I still think it's going to be difficult for them. Next we have is Haiti versus Canada. Now, in my opinion, this is probably the most interesting and most intriguing fixture there is in the qualifiers, because this reverse fixture actually happened in the CONCACAF Gold Cup, and we all know what happened. Canada actually lost that game after being 2-0 up against Haiti, and for me, that's a huge, huge result. Let me see if I can find that result for you guys. Let me see. I want to see where it is. So Haiti versus Canada. When did that happen? Yeah, it happened right here, guys. You can see where it was in the Gold Cup. So Jonathan David scored, Cavallini scored, and then Haiti made that comeback. That's probably one of the best CONCACAF Gold Cup games to be ever seen. So I think for me, this will be a very, very good result. And you could look, and you look at stats here, man, it's like crazy, 35% possession, still managed to come back, And so for me, I think Haiti had the perfect opportunity to deny Canada once again. And as for Canada, I'm sure they're looking for revenge here and looking to be more complete. And in my opinion, once again, guys, I think this for me is a very juicy one. I think I could see a lot of goals coming up in this fixture because I think both teams, I think Canada going forward have been really, really good, whereas Haiti, in my opinion, they've also looked pretty good. And we look at the group stage they had, like the campaign they had. So like you could see, right, guys, they group stage they had they scored 13 goals, conceded no goals, 9 points, 13 goal difference. Whereas Canada 27 goals, 1 goal conceded. So in my opinion, that's really, really impressive from Canada there, and that they were able to score a lot of goals. And in my opinion, I believe that's going to be very key. And yeah, man. So I'm going to say this right now, guys. As much as I would like for Haiti to do this, it would be very, very impressive for them to do so. You look at Dozes, Dukis, Nazon. It's a good player. Jeppe Simison, and then Steven Saba, Johnny Placide, Will Donald, Derek Etzerin, and this guy plays for RB Salzburg, right? Yeah, okay. Byron Elsie, some great players there. I just feel like for me this will be too difficult for Haiti, and I don't think they're going to do it. I think Canada will just do it this time because I think Canada's attack has been really, really good, and I think Canada have learned their lessons from that defeat. You got Alphonso Davies has been incredible for Bayern Munich, Celine Larn, obviously, and then Jonathan David for Lille, he's been pretty good. Alba Hutchinson, Lucas Cavallini, who's not exactly a prolific striker, pretty good player though, to be fair. And Trojan Butcher, and there's so many good players. So it's Canada national team, and I feel like for me, Canada will do it. I think Canada will understand and have to understand that the first leg is away from them, which I think is very, very huge, and the second leg is at home for them, which I think, right? Let's go and look. So the first leg is going to be taking place at the Haiti. So the second leg, let's see, where's that going to take place? I want to see that real quick. I should probably check for the other one real quick. Anyway, let me go check. So Canada, well, you can see right here. So then right here, guys. So the Canada's Toyota Park. So yeah, the second leg's gonna be in second leg's gonna be at USA. So regardless, I still think that's gonna be a huge advantage for them. And that I presume the away goals thing counts in this one, and I think it's gonna be big. So I think Canada will qualify for the next round. I'm gonna say aggregate score. I'm gonna say 4-2. I think this will be a goal fest. I think we're gonna see a lot of goals here. And I wouldn't be surprised to see the goal. I wouldn't be surprised to see Canada score more than 4. But, I think there's that to take into consideration. Now we move on to the final World Cup qualifiers, guys. And that is, of course, we have is Panama versus Curacao. Probably the most toughest one to predict because I think this one can go either way, to be honest with you guys. I think this one's a very close one. And I wouldn't be surprised to see either of these nations because I think either of these nations have the quality to go through. Obviously, we know what Panama did. They obviously made it to the World Cup 2018, which was an incredible accomplishment in their history, obviously. And they'll be looking to repeat that heroics. You look in the players they have. You got Gabriel Torres, Cecilia Waterman, Roman Torres, Edgar Barrasin, Alberto Cornes, Quintero, Annabel Godi. The problem with this Panama national team, though, is that a lot of the players are aging. A lot of the key players are aging, and you can see, right, guys, Panama haven't exactly been that great. You look at the fact they won 2-1 against Dominica. They won 1-0 against Barbados, 0-0 against Serbia. They haven't really been that impressive. And I feel like that World Cup 2018 was a huge, obviously the fact they made it was incredible, and they haven't really been that great since then. They've been really struggling. They haven't really looked that great. And I just think for me, it's going to be very important for Panama here to be very resolute. And I think for Curacao, they've been really, really impressive. I look at what Curaçao's done. You look at the players they have: Leandro Bacuni, Juno Bacuni, Cuca Martini, Anthony Van de Hoek, El Orum, Vernon, I need to, and a lot of these players I believe are from the Dutch. Like a lot of these players like Dutch in my opinion, which I've seen here, and it seems like yeah. So I feel like for me, I'm gonna go with this. And I think Curacao, we could see what the group they did, scored 15 goals, which I think is very, very incredible. Panama, you can see right, guys, Panama scored 19 goals. So it's a very evenly fair, and I would probably say it's the closest. I'm going to give the edge to Curacao. I think Curacao this time will actually do it simply because, like I said before, guys, I think Panama, they haven't really struggled. They haven't really been the same ever since the World Cup, and I really think they're going to miss out. And I think Curacao will just about do it, guys. Will just about do it. But who knows, man? It's going to be very close indeed. Obviously, it's going to be very interesting. And my aggregate score, I'm going to say this will end 2-1. It's going to be very close. I think this will be very close. I have a feeling there's not going to be many goals, and it's going to be very narrow. And I think this will come down to the wire. I wouldn't be surprised if this goes to penalties or even away goals or even extra time, something like that. So, to reiterate, guys, my 3 nations to qualify for the Hex, the octagonal, are Kits and El Salvador, Canada, and Curacao. These are the 3 nations I have making to the octagonal, guys. I keep saying the Hex for some reason. I'm so used to saying that, but it's actually the octagonal, and that basically all these nations will compete. And the games, so you can see the first leg is at Saturday, June 12th, and the second leg will take place Tuesday, June 15th. So good luck to all 6 of these nations. I wish them the best of luck. Not 6 nations. 9. Yeah, actually 6 nations. 6 nations. So good luck to all these nations. And may the best nations qualify for the octagonal. Okay, so let me know what you guys think about the comments below, whether you guys agree with me or not. So I probably, some of these players, I probably do butchered the pronunciations. If I did, let me know in the comments below as well. Remember to comment, subscribe, check out my description below, my Twitter, and my email, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out.